Okay. We already did live, Ibrahim. We did live. Let just bring me me sound now. We already did live now. Hello and welcome to the checkpoint. This is not the show where we dey do reality check on the thing the way they happen inside the country. Well, inside the checkpoint today, we dey look at the SLFA election. We dey continue for look at them as na in the trend now. And as the election while be don reach inside parliament, well, yesterday we see parliament be get for release them. Today we see parliament be get for release the resolution on waiting they begin for pull part their own meeting the as they try for resolve the one them way get for do the election, especially the nominees and the election committee. And well, the election committee be all one meeting outside themselves be do release their resolution. They don't release then talk about issues them where they carry on inside the election process, and they be update the nominees them. And same way, so we go look at the WAFU competition where Salon be done well, we be done come out or we bow out as we be lost 2 matches straight to Mali and that of Guinea-Bissau. We get the FA man we go tell we more. As also after that, we see information from CAF where they say Salon we get certain players them where fail the test, and for that we will likely face 2 years ban from the WAFU itself. And basketball gets a friendly match. We go look at that. Then go play Salon. They play Guinea this weekend inside Conakry. And well, the news of the week when Musa Tombo, we go look at issues as one journalist be explained the reason why make a return back. All right, continue for stay with me. I get me guess them. I get Ibrahim Kamara where they represent the FA, now the man where they talk for the FA, and I say we so get Muctar where they na the studio. But first, let I bring to you Ibrahim. Hello and welcome to the show, Ibrahim Kamara.
Hi, thank you very much for having me. I want to say good evening. Well, from the part of the world who sent me there, it's actually past 8, about 2 minutes after 8. So I want to say good evening to viewers, and thank you, Mark Darling, for having me on the show.
All right, hello and welcome to the show, Muctar. Hello and welcome to the show, Muctar. Okay, we go get Muctar as we carry on inside the show. But as I get Ibrahim now, make I just tell you say you can help me share this far and wide, share for me, and you say have you say now the show if you can. As I want for welcome Esmondo from the UK where they watch. Just tell me inside the watch form, and Yusuf comment and help me share this video far and wide. Ibrahim, first of all, we see today the election committee begets one meeting where they be all. This meeting becomes shortly after the resolution where Parliament Sport Oversight Committee be released. So just take me up to speed. So waiting to be the outcome for that meeting day.
Okay, actually the meeting came about, it starts before the Parliamentary Sports Committee being come out with at the end of the investigation into the issues around the election. So basically the meeting, the electoral committee called the meeting with the nominees, the election nominees, basically for engage them on several issues, because over the past weeks, the main concern don't be that the electoral committee, they talk to them. Magdalene, this is not the first time you follow the electoral process now the FA, so there's never been a time Musa the electoral committee they call nominees. I'm not talking about members in a meeting, but this is a novelty. if it's going to help the process to continue to be transparent, to continue to be open, to continue to be free and fair, why not do it? So that makes the electoral committee say, okay, let us call them and listen to them. So they're able for really listen to them today at the New Brookfields Hotel, give them the opportunity for bring up their concerns. And a lot of them concerns that they be addressed today. Even the nominees, the SLFA, they be satisfied 100%, with regards to the fact that the electoral committee be able to give them attention. And, the meeting will really end well, I can assure you. And, the main thing actually with the electoral committee, they try to pass through. Now, this issue about a timeline. Don't forget the electoral committee be don't stretch out the electoral roadmap, dates, for specific events leading up to elections. Now, because of a number of issues, some delayed on call. Issues like this parliamentary sports committee, the issue basically. USAI we all know, and the whole world know, say the parliamentary sports committee, they don't issue a directive asking the electoral bodies, for put a hold on their activities, then come to the conclusion of the investigation. So all of that maybe they work small bits. And also the petition process, because don't forget there's a specific process that is referred to as the petition. USAI members of the FA, they get the opportunity for petition the candidacy of any of the nominees. That is the process that is on now. And interestingly, out of the 17 candidates, 14 out of the 17 candidates, they be petitioned. So therefore, a lot of petitions are there in front of the electoral committee, the disciplinary committee, and the ethical committee as we speak. So basically when the electoral committee was stretching out the roadmap, they're not being taken into consideration the fact that Senegal gets a whole lot of petitions in front of them. So this is what they are stuck with. And in fact, today probably don't be the date for publish the final list of candidates.
I want for come to that because today for don't be the date because we get limited time now to the election. Barely like 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks more for coming.
Exactly. So because of them petitions that we don't piled up, and in the past couple of days, almost a week, they've been halted their activities as a result of the issue in our parliament, as a result of the directive. They couldn't do anything, So now they get this fear that the Senegal will finish for looking to the petitions and finally come up with the final list of candidacy. You understand? So therefore, they speculate, say there may be an extension of the elections dates, but that has not been decided yet, and it is for the electoral committee to come up with that. Basically, at the end, deliberations they didn't go on today, and the nominees they actually say if there is to be precise, Mr. Rodney Michael specifically say it's going to be an extension because of all of this. They stop as a result of the parliament and the pile of petitions really in front of the electoral committee. There's going to be an extension, making up past 1 week. Some people they say, okay, if it can be 2 weeks or what have you. But the final thing at the end of the day, it might even happen at the stipulated date. There might not be an extension, in fact, at the end of the day. But it's up to the electoral committee to look at what they have in front of them, look at the number of days we don't waste. We don't go wasted as a result of this issue in our parliament. And then for explain to the public whose side we did or what is the position basically in terms of the electoral process of the Sierra Leone Football Association. So that will be the essence of the meeting today. And like I said, the reason I really appreciate them because it's been a while. They really want for sit down with the electoral committee so they're able to express themselves, explain to them what are some of their concerns. And I think that will be able to happen today. And the meeting will be, a very fruitful discussion and at the end fine.
Okay, so was this meeting being threatened by the resolution where Parliament be released earlier on?
No, like I mentioned earlier, the meeting, in fact, we don't start. Now, inside the meeting, now we Parliamentary Oversight Committee for Sports, the resolutions. As a matter of fact, yesterday, they were invited to Parliament. the same committees, but this time not just the electoral committee and the electoral appeals committee, the two chairmen for committees who I just mentioned. They've been inviting our parliament yesterday. We said and go brief them. In fact, the content of this their resolution there. So the most important thing out of that resolution, the fact that they be asking for put a hold on their activities. That has been rescinded. They've been asked to continue to do that. But just that the parliament emphasized on the fact that for ensure then creates a level playing ground, playing field for everybody, so everybody will get an equal opportunity as the process to continue. Let the process continue to be free, fair, transparent, right through to the end.
All right. Let's just welcome Muctar. Hello, Muctar. Welcome to the show. I think we get network issue with Muctar from Freetown. We continue with the show, Ibrahim. As when and now we're able to forget Muctar, we go get to Muctar, just check your mic. Now you set in and fix them up, then we will get on to you. Ibrahim, like you don't mention that, and so what are some of the main points them today where them get from the meeting, the main point there? Because first of all, before going to that, just get informed about who would be present at that meeting. They wouldn't have the nominees them, because we know 17 people already. We don't go through the nomination process.
Correct. Apparently today now 10 out of those 17 that have been present today the meeting. Let me start with the one that will be present. You can get Ibrahim Kamara, when a candidate for the vice presidency. You can get Anthony Junior Navo, himself been present, candidate for the vice presidency. Mr. Michael, candidate for the presidential position. You can get Kanasiu, where they go for an ESCO position. You can get Idrissa Mago Tarawali, where they go for vice presidential position. You can get Kwekulisk, where they go for an executive committee member position. You can get Thomas Ibrahim, where they go for presidential candidacy. You can get Mr. Barry, where they go for an executive committee position. You get John Disa, where himself they go for an executive committee position. So, they want to be the one that will be present from the part of the nominees. And for the committee members, you can get 4 committees out of 5 will be present. The chairman be present, Mr. Koka. You get the vice chairperson, when Dr. Fatou Taki be present. You can get Mr. Yila, Mr. Kabia, where one of the members, and Mr. Bami Davis, we are another member of the electoral SLFA electoral committee, and obviously me Dede as the head of media and marketing, and then Mohamed Ben Sibaon will be the acting secretary, since the general secretary Kamara, we apparently now the secretary to all of these committees, not there within the country now as it is Senegal. And then so to the key points them we didn't discuss. First of all, let's start the next meeting. Now for go familiarize themselves. For let the committee go familiarize themselves with the nominees. Like I say, it's been a while with the nominees, they asked for an opportunity like this, which was why they were really, really happy that this meeting, be held finally. It's basically about the nominees bringing up certain concerns we then get, related to the elections process. So those concerns were raised, you understand, and the electoral committee be able to resolve most of their concerns, and a few others, then say, okay, we'll find a way to sort them out, just so that then they in sync in terms of following the process. Because don't forget, this process is not just about the electoral committee. It's not just about the SLFA secretariat, but it's also involves largely the nominees and the members of the Sierra Leone Football Association. So if we're all there in sync in terms of communication, in terms of understanding the process, I think that will help in terms of the transparency and the accountability aspect of which you all try to do, just so that at the end of the day we will come to a logical conclusion, a peaceful conclusion in the best interest of football and the country.
Okay. Like we don't see the outcome already, and like you say, people be dey expect say today for be the the day where them go release the names of the one that way go qualify for contest after the petition, and anything been come up like questions from the nominees them about that. You dey get me? I dey talk about the hello. You dey get me now?
Hello.
Yeah, you dey get me now?
Whoa.
Hello.
Hello. You get me?
Yeah, they get you. You dey get me now? Hello. All right.
Check you.
Yeah. Yeah, me speaker there on. I dey get you loud and clear.
Okay, I get you now.
Yeah. I said the nominees them they expect
You said they get you loud and clear.
Yeah, like you earlier on say, the nominees them be supposed to get the final result from the petition them, and today for people they them for release the names of the one that will qualify for contest. Any question been come up with regards time frame and all?
Yeah. Basically, in fact, the electoral committee not wait for them to ask. He explained to them right away. Like I tell you earlier on, 14 out of the 17 nominees, them petition them, and then petition they are not to just, for example, one person they petition because of each of these nominees were just within this number of 14 out of the 17. So basically, the electoral committee be explained to them. Then say from time, especially look at the number of days who wait as a result of the issue in Parliament. So basically, yes, issue with regards that come up, and the electoral committee chairman, Mr. Oluni Robin, be explained to them, say within the shortest possible time, the final list that will conclude with all of these petitions, and the final list of candidates will come up. If it is going to affect the date for the elections, it will not be too long. Namika mentioned earlier on, say people like Mr. Rodney Michael being specifically point out the fact that if there's going to be a delay as a result of what has happened, i.e.
That's not the voice of
the parliamentary issue, and then this is some of this local yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So let's just welcome Muctar. Muctar, welcome to the show. You get me now?
Yeah, you get to loud and clear.
All right. Stay with me. I'll come to you as Ibrahim. They try to take me through the meeting where they be all today. So we don't get from the meeting. Ibrahim, the talk of the week now, the FIFA letter will be come out. A lot of people been get a question mark about that with regards in legality. So first up, is this letter actually from FIFA or not a made up letter? I know this is not a question where you don't want for you because the thing where you go on social media now that the letter was doctored.
Good. Thank you very much for seeking that clarification. But I think we don't jump that stage there now, because even as we speak, even the letter we don't reach now Parliament, we don't reach now the National Sports Authority, we don't reach now the Ministry of Sports as well. First of all, I don't know how anybody would think, say, a whole National Football Federation, we owe obligation to the world governing body when at FIFA, go fake a letter from FIFA. We fake a letter, we'll not just fake a letter, we fake a letter, and then we do a press release quoting the content of that letter, and then we publish it. How would FIFA not find that out? You know, and if you do that, how will FIFA not come back and say, no, we did not send any letter there? We've had these kinds of issues, you know. I mean, since we've been in this country as a sport journalist, you know some of the issues there. But the letter came, and as soon as it came, you know, we put out a press release for basically inform the general public with regards to the content of the letter, because we owe that to the public. We could not have received a letter like that and sit on it. No, we communicate to the public, you know, by way of press release. And then we write to the National Sports Authority, the Ministry of Sports, and the Parliamentary Oversight Committee for Sports. And then we attach the original FIFA letter there.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, for answer your question straight, it's a very authentic letter. We cannot fake any letter from anybody, especially not from FIFA, when are the world governing body, because an attempt to do anything like that is a serious ethical issue. Definitely. Right. So as you don't display on the screen, it's very authentic, and it's I think we've gone past that.
Okay. Muctar, you now one person way being so critical about this letter. I can recall in one of the WhatsApp group you said the letter is fake, and later you come out again and say the signature is been doctored. So what's in you take now on this letter? You because this letter, as Ibrahim explained, it all reached to the required people, the people way get stake, we're supposed for handle this letter. They already don't receive and they in front of Parliament now. And yesterday we hear with the parliamentarian and stuff, they say then self they communicate with FIFA through the NSA.
Well, I want to say good evening to the viewers when they get free on this podium. I want to say excited for make me made in edition and be part of the show this evening over to we are when I'm monitoring to you. The first letter we come out, we leak out. If you watch them and you read them, you will clearly understand say the signature was one way questionable in terms of presentation. After we arguments and don't counter arguments, then the SPWA, the head of corporate Mohammed Bentimba begin for say when it comes to the get confidential letter, they no go release the letter we then receive from FIFA way. Then we get for sure that first letter clearly, if you able to display it to viewers, then we go no say in different the signature with the panda letter they of Veron with this one critical also different. The reason why I question that letter, they make them very clear to viewers. They say Veron, the first Congress will then be get after the arrangement of the Congress will then be set. We then we get inside the Atlantic call. Me you be no say that Congress there was one maybe very tense under the APC under Ahmed Kanu, where now be the former minister we be go 10 become with the membership them raise motion for me they impeach Madam Aisha. Would that be the inside that Congress will clearly understand say Verona the person we Aisha get for one out of the Congress for call for make a call Ahmed. Yeah, Ahmed talk. Ahmed get for tell us everything Verona they ask for. You know, they will critical one very challenging because the members them don't move motion. So for the two, you know, go sit down at the high table, they will move measure. So you get for be a win-win situation. We Veron get for stopping. Veron, this is not the first time. I didn't have someone to sport forums in Africa. It be accused and saying you can always side with the sitting regimes them for CCA will stifle something on their favor. So a critical issue can become around everything will happen inside the letter. One way people can show authenticity of a letter and the signature. That signature, the first one be questioning if you display with this one we display front the screen like two different ones them and we depict two different something there in terms of signature presentation, Magdalene.
Was you critical about the letter itself or Veron as a person? Where you think say for you?
Veron as a person, attitude inside 2017. I remember Atlantic call, the INBA make a question attitude, and this not to the first, the other forums they were done the because you know say in position we get in Africa very big now in the interface between African countries and for communicates to FIFA. So if you don't get an attitude way then the questionable or everything it will come around here, especially that letter the signature show like say pull and pull out and fair way how they able to sketch and for say then put up that letter they not clear with this one after that argument and the FA1 justify the letter say come up from FIFA. We see them pull original copy. This one it's a clear spell to in common from FIFA, because you see the authenticity and the signature, you see the authenticity and the right to say yeah incorrect, and also now Veroni's signature than they, because his signatures and whether they come from a letters and with this one no different one, but the one with them be pull are questionable, and none of that pull are them now the Football Association pull and present on some side. That first one they be questionable, we get for make a throw doubt on that letter day.
Okay, I'll come to you. Stay with me. IBK, you then at the FA. Is there at any point when I be received 2 different letters from FIFA, or when I be, get for wait until people pressure when I before I release the actual letter where we they display now?
First of all, we'll not ever release any letter up to this moment, and we will never do that. Me don't know whose letter when you see or whose I go see them. We'll never release any letter, because first of all, this letter from FIFA, it's a confidential correspondence. It came to the FA. If you look at them, it was addressed to the General Secretary of the Sierra Leone Football Association, so we could not have published it. What do? We put out a press release. Now, let me say this. The press release we put out, it not come out from one corner or one group now, any side. It came from the Football Federation. Now, Mr. Seven, the head of media and marketing of the Football Federation, now me put out the press release. So people have to trust what is coming from the Football Federation. You don't understand? A lot of people, I'm including in the Muctar, hey, the letter are fake, this, that. I don't know how in things say the Football Federation will go fake a whole letter from FIFA when are the world governing body. Where we say, as we put out the press release, it goes global, it goes all over the world. You understand how in the thing say we can do something like that? Then pressure, the letter are this. I don't know if it's something that we just want below we post the letter. It was the same thing that happened the time where FIFA clear Madam Asha Yohansi, as eligible for buy for the position of FIFA Executive Committee, FIFA Member Council position. Na fake, na lie. One see the letter. At the end of the day, somebody go to the website and bring them forward. Listen, we need a play to the gallery as a football federation. All we do, they in line with the statute. That is what we're concerned about. People get what think, what they think. People get what gets them perception, what they want to get. It's up to them. You understand? We they do waiting ethical, waiting professional, and waiting morally they in place. What we did when the letter come, we copy the relevant bodies. Like I explained earlier on, including the National Sports Authority, the Ministry of Sports, and the Parliamentary Oversight Committee for Sports. We write a cover letter to them, and then we attach the original copy of the FIFA letter and send them to them. These are the bodies that we oblige to update. For the general public, we inform them through a press release with regards to it don't come in. Would I believe? Fine. Would I not believe? Fine. It's up to them. You understand? Okay. The good thing is, at the end of the day, he says they don't admit to the fact, say yes, the letter is authentic, but in BC one false one will have been fake false. Me don't know who's one and they will BC false, or would that show up? Okay. You understand? Another thing is, let me try as best as possible in this conversation for avoid discussing people, because I hear they talk about Veron this, Veron that, Veron should not be the topic of discussion here. I think so. We are basically, you understand, he explain what you think, what's not in perception is, that's his right. Okay. You understand?
Yeah. We go try as much for avoid.
No way avoid for this. Especially possibly not in this discussion now. You understand?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we go now to the letter itself. I go take Muctar first. Muctar, this letter, we see previous issues that we don't come up. The first election, this one as well, where government can try for coming for mediate, but FIFA can always try for show them the limits, say no, we don't want third party interference. And this not the same letter where also they don't send. And we see the position of Parliament yesterday, then get the resolution out. I'll come to that resolution there and show people they're waiting Parliament they ask for level playing field. All candidates, all people nominated should be given the access to contest, no unopposed. So with FIFA now saying if government interfere, Salon will likely face a ban, because that's now waiting, then they say, then just one, they're not toxic, then go ban we, but then they warn against government interference. You want for trust this letter, or you think say this not just a threatening for like protect certain individual in the process?
Well, one perception wey me Maggie, I say I don't think what happen inside parliament has to do with third party interference. Me, the process now one way. The nomination process began one, two challenges. Parliament began for see concern them being raised, funds them maybe the support other candidates and then able to go through the nomination process properly, see them be plan for protest, then be the bill up also make follow them, be keep meeting at Kalon Park. Popular person now with superstar we now Mohamed Kalon. That's in the way we happen. We get for make parliament get concerned. Kalon go now one of the most popular programs on the morning. It is concerned the way things say no be happy with the process we flow the question the appeals committee they cannot learn begin for say parliament say necessary for them we in charge of the country for say they call all parties together and mediate and say this election be one we go appear very fair, very transparent and very honest for everybody when they participate inside the process. For parliament summon everybody be good the parties to all talk, invite all the committees members. After that, they wait to happen how the Sierra Leone Football Association communicates to FIFA as them where Parliament begin for say all the bodies then put the work in place until then conclude. Yes, on Wednesday, see the Football Association waiting then communicates to FIFA, waiting lead to FIFA. This then letter clearly the association based on waiting the Sierra Leone Football Association General Secretary communicates to FIFA, begin for they say FIFA act on this, and begin for they say they no want third party interference. But clearly, we know they say government will interfere in the process. But for make sure say they will talk to the various committee members, the way they the electoral board, the ethics board, and the appeals board, but they then do a very proper and decent work where every Sierra Leonean them we will see and appreciate say this person I win law all come together and accept defeat for the good of the game. This person I retain the power back, he win objectively, he win out majority of the 53 stakeholders, let's work together and support that person there. So for me, parliament in come one inside according to FIFA the interpretation as third party interference, me no see and say now one way na third party interference, me see and say now one way good for the game, now one way they bring the football members them together. Sit there, for example, which happen inside Brookfield hotels, the various committee, the various members them will divide for position, despite not to all be there. But the one that will be there, they see the lover will be there among them. You see Antonio Gino Navo from Madam Aisha Johansson inside, and also you see Rodney Michael, the popular candidate among the all be there also. You see Margot Trali be there, you see the love, you see the picture, you see the smile. This we need for a beautiful game. This we need for we game in terms of administration and oneness able for go before. If Madam be there today, for don't be very exciting one. But if you know that, but for me, I'm not as government interference as FIFA put our missions in a one way government can for save draw, save Alala and save some for the game Magdalene.
Yeah, but Muctar, with the resolution now, I don't display on the screen where Parliament they ask like they say this for be the process. Then number 2, the process shall create a level playing field, meaning all candidates shall have equal rights to contest without exceptions, and that the process shall not be skewed towards granting any person or group of person undue advantage. With this statement, you not think say it get a little bit of interference because it's like Parliament they dictate the pace of the process. Waiting there. What if somebody is guilty of the integrity check and they want for get them out of the process, or they want for protect one particular person we're not supposed for the part of the process? So you not think saying that did interference they come in? Hello, Muctar. All right, I will come to Muctar back with that question here. IBK. Now this letter, when I get a particular sign now now a particular side in the constitution, you not talk man for the FA. I don't want to involve it too much into the election, but as they represent the FA, there is a section in the FA constitution where they talk about you know, the boundaries where the government not for step and all. So you go take me through that section, the article, whatever, because
Article 2.
Yeah, what's in this article they say?
All right. If you give me small time, I will clarify it, Andy. But why should I try for look for can respond to you clearly on that? You know, Muctar will talk about you know, Parliament intervention not being political interference as put by FIFA. First of all, FIFA no accuse Parliament of political interference. When you look at the letter we come out from FIFA, in order to say there has been political interference, it's a mere caution, it's a mere warning. You understand that we must be cognizant of the fact that third party, especially undue third party interference and political interference, cannot be tolerated, and it could lead to a ban. You know, basically now for bring back your attention to waiting Article 14(1)(I) and Article 19 of the FIFA statute clearly talk about. All right, with regards the FIFA Code of Ethics, USA clearly frown at political interference. Now inside Article 2(1)(2) of the SLFA Electoral Code 2012. And I go read clearly. Article 2 say the democratic principles of segregation of power, transparency, and publishing of the electoral process of the member association must be observed without exception. Now listen to 2. 2 says government interference, then Article 2(2). Government interference of any kind. I'll go over that again. It says government interference of any kind in the electoral or composition of the elective body, Congress, of the association is not permitted. I'll take it again. Government interference of any kind in the electoral process or composition of the elective body, Congress, of the association is not permitted. Consequently, government's rules, they follow, government's rules on elections shall not apply to the elected internal bodies of the association, and the electoral rules of the association shall not require the approval of any government body.
Okay.
Magda, you get down there?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
As Article 2(a) go on for say, the SLFA shall adopt and approve the electoral rules of the elected internal bodies and in accordance with the code and other FIFA regulations. Now, this last part, you know, when people they say SLFA lay complaint, they say, no, we don't lay complaint. Listen to this. Article 2(c), they say the member organization shall immediately inform FIFA of any government interference in the electoral process. Not to
let me take this point. Let me take this point. Yes, there was no FIFA representative in Parliament on that day, and what in people they say and they say now because SLFA informed FIFA through Chris Kamara, make FIFA write this letter. Is it that, you know, people they look at them as a complaint, or now because of this particular act now the constitution make una inform FIFA?
Yes, it's because of the second part of the question and the answer. Now, because of this particular part of which electoral code they say. Now, it's an obligation. Within the statutes, and I make I tell you earlier on, say we as an FA will never do anything that it's outside the statutes or the respective codes, because are then codes, are then laws, and are then put it together. And this is why I was very happy when the Speaker of Parliament mentioned them before the meeting starts. He said every organization or every body, you know, is governed by rules, and these rules must be respected. They must be complied with. You understand? Oh. So this particular portion said that the thing is, apart from this Parliament issue, let people understand this. apart from this parliament issue, the way member associations they operate all over the world, anything where we do, we keep FIFA informed. You understand? We're not the parents' body. Anything that we do, we keep them informed. We go to Congress,
okay.
we go to Congress, so we keep them informed. You understand? In fact, what they did at Congress, FIFA representative for Dede always. Magdalene, you know, and only for arts made for explaining that to you. You understand? Because you don't follow Congress is quite a number of times. So we inform them. So it's not like for go late complain, hey, they don't can intervene. No, I will just operate and say at this particular point during the electoral process, because when the electoral committee be stretched out the electoral roadmap, it was communicated to FIFA. So now, if for any reason they've been stopped from working, it therefore affects the date. You have to inform FIFA, say, hey, at this particular point, we've been summoned in Parliament. You understand? And the committees have been asked to stop work until that issue comes to conclusion. We inform FIFA of this. So because FIFA say there is some nature of Parliament, you understand, intervention, and some nature of directives coming from Parliament asking these bodies. You understand? And then bodies they are made, you know, say they are meant to be independent bodies. You understand? They were summoned to Parliament. They were asked to explain how they do their work. They were asked to explain how they arrive at their decisions and all of that, which really, ideally, and according to the statute, it is not supposed to be the case. I just not read to you the relevant statute. That's what I read. Now, what's inside the electoral code? Not to me write am, not to me say, not to Chris say, not to Magdalene say. It is what is written in black and white. Now, the SLFA Code of Ethics. You don't understand the point. So this was exactly what happened. We informed them of the development, and FIFA, in turn, they come with a caution. They not say there has been a political interference. FIFA did not say that. But because it gets semblance of Parliament intervention or Parliament giving directives to the electoral bodies to stop work, and they think and say, there seems to, you know, there be some kind of intervention or party interference or what have you. So this was why they sent this warning. And when they send the warning, we don't sit down for now. We communicate to the general public through press release. And we write letters also to the different bodies, just like I tell you earlier on, NSA, Ministry of Sports, and the Parliamentary Sports Committee, basically. And people also have to understand that when this directive did come, the directive was for Ministry of Sports ask we for stop for work. You understand? Okay. Ministry of Sports write a letter to NSA asking them to ask us to stop. I mean, the electoral bodies, and we were copied in that letter.
Okay, IBK. We will come to that. Musa, the minister said they complain and 98.1 say he has the moral guarantor who not communicate with him. Well, I can play that sound day. But now with this resolution from Parliament yesterday, are we heading for another FIFA ban?
No, we're not. We are not, because as you see the resolution from you know, Parliament, as far as me concerned, and from the way I look at it, it may not be the same perception we then get in putting this together. But from where we look at it, from a football federation point of view, first of all, they ask whether they ask the judicial bodies and electoral bodies for stop for work. They don't lift that. It has been rescinded. They've asked them to continue to do their work. Okay. You understand the point? Yes, that one has been.
So quick one. And also not to you for confirm this. I will try as much as possible to get somebody from the electoral committee.
Just you say. I have on behalf of all the committees.
Okay. So Mohamed Kalon, now one person where them being, you know, disqualified from the process. And people will look at them and say the reason for going to Parliament and for see how best and go resolve the issue for bring Mohamed Kalon and Kasho to for let themselves go be able to participate or get way for contest. So is it that it's all over for Kalon in the process? Because the letter we'll see they talk about una continue to una process, and we see the meeting where they call yesterday, the one that we go there, and we still see the committee they work with the 17 nominees. Is it all over for him in the process?
Well, I mean, as a football federation, and as far as we're concerned, we have 17 nominees. And these are the nominees we're going with. The Kalong issue, the Kasho issue, the committee just take their decision on them. They were not, and if I must clarify again, because I don't do so now, plenty radio stations, plenty TV stations, they failed to comply with the laid down guidelines.
What are these laid down guidelines that they failed to comply with?
Now they are the council. First of all, like Mohammed Kalong inside, nobody nominated him. So that's why, you know, when I hear people say, it's unfortunate to hear people say Kalong was disqualified, Kalong was disqualified. It was, in fact, the electoral committee not disqualified nobody. That stage was merely the submission of the nominations. But in the process of submission of nominations, now the rule says now a valid member of the FA now get the right for propose a nomination. And not just that, a valid member of the FA also for second the same nomination. So in their own case, Kasho had a valid member to propose his nomination, but the seconder was not valid. Now, what makes you a valid member is when you don't update your status, when you don't regularize your status. The one where proposed the nomination of Kasho in Western area, rural districts, they were valid. The one where came for second, the nomination of districts was not valid as at that time, when it been 5 p.m. of the 8th January 2021. Mohammed Kalong Ion case, nobody came forward to nominate him. What happened exactly was, and let me clarify this, let people understand and very clearly. What happened with Mohammed Kalong's issue was, he actually came. He came to the secretariat. But then when he arrived, because we get a list, anybody will come, they write his name for say you don't come, they wait for let you turn reach for go inside the nomination hall. It was not time for him to come into the hall yet. And then he heard about Western area urban, the issue not being regularized. So he became worried because I think in the Western area urban, he been getting planned for let them go nominate him or for second in nomination, one of the two. And then he became worried, and then he came into the hall and asked for clarification with regards to Western area urban. And we carefully explained to us, say, this is the process. This is what the rule says. You know, so Western area urban is not regularized. And then he go back outside. When he go outside now, he not come inside again. So he was never nominated at all. So even when they talk, say, or people they talk, say, hey, what about heroes now? Why heroes not for nominated? And this, nobody nominated him. He came into the hall. He sought for clarification. Those clarifications were provided for him. And then he left the hall. He never came back in. That was exactly what happened. So the next morning, we just see someone on social media saying they don't disqualify him. You cannot disqualify somebody when not come inside the process yet.
So it not go inside the process, but why the appeals committee allow him for appeal?
Well, this is it. It's an appeals committee. According to the chairman for the appeals committee, they say they listen to every hearing. They give everybody an opportunity for appealing any decision. So even that decision for explain to and say Western area urban not regularized, so say it feel like say the disadvantage or so. So if the person want for appeal, he can get the opportunity for do so. You understand the point? So this was why they been given the opportunity. Okay, we'll bring forward the case. Let not be like say go back for go appeal and say no, they listen to you. You understand the point? Okay. Because appeal and for listening to people and complaints and they for. You don't understand? Okay. So if all the appeal and then they listen to them, the decision still go that he should not be allowed because nobody nominated. This was still a decision.
Okay, you know, I will stay with me.
They went
I will come to
Parliament, and to round up on this because he asked me with this resolution from Parliament. You don't look at the resolution from Parliament. You don't get nothing to do with Mohammed Kalong coming or Kasho coming or what have you. So we are going to go with the 17 candidates. The 17 nominees. We get in front of we right now. In fact, now they will call today for the meeting, and we're moving on. The process has always been very much transparent, free and fair. So let me learn for be honest in yourself. That they will help we a lot. If you were not nominated, don't go back and say I was nominated but I was disqualified. it is not fair.
Okay, I will come to you back.
The said that was what happened, and to this effect, in the moment, Kalonsese confessed the parents.
Okay, let's take Muctar quick. IBK, let's take Muctar quick. Hello, Muctar, welcome back.
Hello, Maggie.
Yeah, the side way I want to ask you before you go now that the process of itself now within a parliament don't make the resolution that everybody forget level playing field. With regards to the FIFA letter, you don't clear I'm saying not feel say anything ever do with ban or whatever. So even IBK don't say that the resolution clear. And now we talk about Kalon and Kasho, the process where they use, and it's like they don't go out now because from the document itself from parliament, the state say make the committee continue with their work. You think say the process really transparent, or then be just disadvantage Kalon and Kasho?
Well, for me now bigger question. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm a journalist before I can't say the football politics, despite I'm representing the old member in this forum also, and also the speaker in the position of journalist. What happened the final day, the Sierra Football Association arrived there after. Now we are the first people we go do nomination for the candidates when I got Michael, we go there as early as around 2 after.
Line is too much. I just struggle for getting clearly. The line will cut in the break.
After 2:30, me Rodney we will go the Malaji Komba do nomination for the likes of Rodney. For Kalonion around evening we don't reach now, so I get the news say Kalon gets challenges with the nomination, the likes of Kasha, and also one of we greatest when it comes to grassroots football when Abdulman Davis also we get forget problem with the nomination, allegation, clear explanation up to now, no day for how the nomination will be accepted. I'm not gonna tell you say the process no fear. If you ask me in terms of the nomination, it gets your own challenges, it gets your ups and downs. I can clearly tell you say the electoral committee they did a fine job. That did it, but no more the problem no more now with the electoral committees and not be present at the time of the nomination process. You know, say we first be good or no mean none of the electoral committee members them inside the nomination room. Later on we understand say the likes of Taki and one of the members them inside the nomination committee we can join later for make the country say they be part of the process for the accept nomination letter. The process gets your own challenges, but if you ask me for that percentage, I will put on 60-40.
Okay, in all process you can get challenges. Quick one to IBK. Just confirm this. Somebody they ask questions. Say somebody say but Kalon been tell we say Heroes then nominator. What happens? What about that? That's now a question from someone there. From somebody named Steve Mori. Hello IBK. Okay, we don't lost IBK. We will try to get IBK back on the show. Muctar, as we continue now, we see say this process they go back and forth. Everybody gets issues, but it's still they carry on. And you they represent one of the one the way they don't nominate. We go through the nomination when the Rodney Michael come. So tell we now, but what we not expect, because in yesterday meeting we see everybody been there, but still there are people who get question mark with regards the petition issue. What una the sense? What you think they get for come out of that?
Well, I can clearly tell you, say Magdalene, if you ask them of the show, say I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic. Say Rodney as a person get for make the finalist for the upcoming election, because according to close sources, not being concluded the election and get for push up. But I can tell you, say I'm very, very optimistic for Rodney candidature. I don't see documents them. I don't see how far you don't go for CC in clear in name of all allegations them before in facing the committee. I've been part of documents process. I've been part of work being put behind the scene for CC in candidature being accepted. We go to the nomination process. We put all documents together. Every question asked at the panel, every document being presented with one of the regions that we nominate winner Jalo from Pujon. Now, another issue again, also the face with many people have done the reason say and Rodney Michael and go ban on that winner that gambler. I can clearly tell you say petitions they more made say they don't send against them, they don't send in the area of gambling and send in the area say a citizenship. Where the born a salon and a brothers then the born and a Sierra Leonean sister in men and I've been one time a senior prefect of CKC. So when it comes to all areas, then when it comes to all criteria have been put in place, every bit of a question we the electoral committee and also the ethics committee and don't send the answer. Go and break this to you see as of Tuesday, we receive a letter from the ethics committee where they begin for say they want to check the bank credit of Rodney Michael when a million candidate inside the race. We get for answer that question. They submit everything towards them when I get for delay the process. We are not pull the final list for today. But I'm very optimistic. So it's going to make the final list for the election.
There is one rumor will go around that FIFA they frown at people that will get linked with sports betting. And this now one thing where they don't they tie Rodney with. You think say now they didn't get forget to catch or Rodney clean enough for go through that?
Well, I can tell you say Magdalene, Rodney has no association with Maki. If me brother they pass something no mean say na me dey. Rodney brother when I'm Martin, when I employ the employer, nothing get Maki himself. I'm now okay look for Maki. Rodney has no business with Maki and there is no contract, any document for sure say the last 5 years, even the last 7 years, Rodney don't work for Maki. That document they not the Football Association and the Ethics Committee need document for proof say Rodney last contract and something like over 5 years ago, that document to be available. You don't set them for present them to the Ethics Committee. That now for clearly tell you say no business we get for do with Maki. Ma set example, bet 232 own Stoke City inside England, one of championship big clubs then previously maybe in our Premier League. The man himself winner the president of the Guinea Football Association, also own a gambling company, but a president of the Guinea Football Association. No mean say Rodney get any answer get for do to Maki, but now for sure say that one ain't stop anybody in association for make end the game. So it's critical how people in the look. We can't shade away from the contribution of gambling within the making. The likes of CAF, the likes of FIFA, they all recognize say gambling they give huge support to team. Real Madrid don't do advert for gambling company. Other big clubs them across the world don't do call. We can't disassociate ourselves if we want to game for develop, if we want the sponsorship. For example, me and you day Magdalene, if the football the challenges when they defend now for sponsorship, if this current administration with Madam Aisha you want in the head, we don't get a very good and cordial working relationship with Maki. How many million for the pauper with Premier League? We for don't save government a lot of money in terms of sponsorship. So for me, for make people and they use politics for the shade away a company will get the ability for pour a huge money inside with game in terms of what sponsor the players and sponsor the clubs that and limited the resources so they call from government. A very sad and very disheartening. You can't take away the sponsorship of gambling. Maki not the bet anything per salon football. Maki not get nothing for give per salon football. So Rodney has no business with Maki. He not get no association with them. They run a financial consultancy firm that Wilkinson Road is not working. The crime when brother commits, not to Rodney will commit a brother and a responsible lawyer. We don't lecture as Sierra Leone and they manage Maki, run the market, your life where they run as a financial consultant, where you do consultancy for big company in this country. So people never understand he has no business with Maki. He's an independent man, he's a philanthropist, and he's a lover of football.
Okay, I will come to you back. Stay with me. I just play this audio where the minister they say he has the moral guarantor. They get free flow information from the FA with regards to the election process.
Whatsoever, any process with the FA they take, even with regards to their committees, they are with them form so electoral committee, board, ethics, whatever name you call them. I think then for the update the moral guarantor, and for they know what in they happen. Now that then call good governance. Good governance. But as I tell you, nothing like that not happen if I not ask, if I not write the FA, question them. This Kaloni issue, as it happens, so the next day, we write them.
When you say them, don't they sideline you over the years?
Oh, sure. That day, of course, in natural. I don't used to run now anyway. Now that make I tell you, say, me own leadership, and I very patient leadership I get, too diplomatic, of course. You know, in a country like Sierra Leone, you know, where you get a leader, we very diplomatic. We want, you know, for seeing country get, you know, everlasting peace, no halala, no sonko. I think, say, diplomacy, they go with principles.
But Mr. Minister, one go they wonder, what make the FA so powerful for lay, according to you, then they sideline a whole ministry where they regulate them, and somebody they serve as a moral guarantor, they know they update them about happenings, now the SLFA, and all that just go free one.
Well, this again, then they do it deliberately. You know why? This is what Abide say na here. When you stretch your muscle as a minister, they interpret them as third-party interference. Now, the habit we don't do now, they record you, send them to FIFA, and, you know, do a lot of stuff. But notwithstanding, I don't tell you, say, the ministry, we do on top of situation, yeah? Whether they brief me, they not brief me, I get 100% attention with all the processes where they go. Just like when you put that case before me just now about Mohammed Kalon, it's rather unfortunate. You see, nomination, why you deny somebody nomination? Tell me. Now just nomination. Okay, if you talk about compliance, the man not comply to time, the one they will go nominate are no authentic, they're not legal, then you say the man in club says we now nominate them.
That's not the defense of the FA.
This is what I'm saying.
Somebody we don't take in the sport world, you get your own experience. You think say that defense case the way the FA make for reject the nomination, then they na case way valid.
Now a very bad excuse, a very very bad excuse. Yeah, me as a moral guarantor, just like what they tell you. If una no brief me, then me don't write. Ask una for let una justify why make una deny Mohammed for nominate him. Then una's write and tell me say just like what I do explain rather than tell me where they write. And now let me tell you something. You see now everybody get right for seek a legal redress. Yeah, the only advice I can give me brothers them. You don't go for an injunction because this election we want them, let it done, we put them at we back. Because once you go for injunction, then stop the election, you don't create pave way for the FA for stay too long again na office. So I think it would cash you. I think the sick way then they go seek redress na court, now for let they interpret.
Okay, that's now waiting the minister be they say the side where we open this one now I think we're not able to forget IBK now. It don't go off the line, but hopefully if he come back I will put this question to him. Now that the minister they say it totally need to get, you know, that kind smooth communication from the FA with regards the election itself, being that in the moral guarantor.
Well, Magdal, if you watch the point of the minister, may you understand, say, I not say no be there at the time with that delegation become will I be FA president Musa Belete and this Veron himself for the right say third party interference. They're all part of that meeting. They will then prepare a document where they call the roadmap for football inside Sierra. Ahmed began for sign on behalf of the government. Veron began for sign on behalf of FIFA, and also you get Musa began for sign. He began also the man himself when I do see Taylor began for sign on behalf of the FA. The members also Margot began for sign, we began for represent them. This roadmap now him began for CC then gets the information of the 47 delegates and we government began for give over 200 million to the man himself, Dr. Sosowina Michada committee for them go identify delegates them all across the country. Now, this if the minister they say so, yes, now write documents to the effect. I know if SPW about 2 days ago I post that document the way now be the roadmap document so then begin for sign say each and every step when they take it is the right of the Football Association for say the ministry monitor the whole process. So why then beside that document now for say then create fairness and create credibility, everybody within inside the process begin for satisfy with the process, but with the action of the Sierra Leone Football Association, not to meet talker, not to rumor, you don't get time from the minister. We don't make a very clear say, emphatic say, they get statement from the Sierra Leone Football Association, pass itself for act through written, but she said they're able to update them for the process. So this is a clear breach of the roadmap where the Football Association to those Taylor, where now the chairman for the ethics committee we ever signed on behalf of the Football Association. Making clearly tell you say the secretariat not get any hidden agenda when it comes to this process, this elective process. Then what she say, every little process, everything, the electoral code self, if you identify and say every process where they go through, they need for say they notify the members them where they part of the process. This now way for create credibility. The roadmap also don't repeat the same thing. So if the minister win at the moral guarantor, where they for everybody not get side inside the process, then the Football Association is left out of the game. To me, I don't think it's fair and I don't think it make any sense. Waiting go on good for the game. But also give respect to that, respect due, and make sure say the moral guarantor follow the process and make sure say them back happy. No issue, no they pan the game. This now the members they get in game, and they get for vote to that they want for the next 4 years. Not to me as journalists at the news with the reports to the people them out there, but we get for make sure say ladies game after the election, the football administrators them come together and organize themselves whenever they meet up in a stadium. We see say after the election, the Sierra Leone Football Association, whether Aisha retain the power on a Rodney inside, on a Kofi inside, on a Safaka inside, then see say that they in one together, they will work for the unity of the game. Find again the game after election, other win, other go out, you see them come out of the game. Me, say when I'm Caribbean left football up to now, we no see I'm inside football. So no one see that situation where Aisha as a person with a contribution, where he don't do inside the game, where lost the election, come and match with the election again for take place, we no see I'm in the game. So one for see people them we don't contribute to the game for continue.
If that side it. Why you think you so confident?
I understand. This I just said an example no more. So what basically we want now, but see say whether the incumbent or the successor they're still inside the game, we see them, we meet up in a stadium, we laugh together for the development of the game. Me, from when I'm Cardigo, never see around the game again. Me never see an a stadium after in 10 years when we get for left go England. I'm not sure it. So it's important that the game be a family game, a game where it will bring people together, make no divide them, make the FAC say they report to the moral guarantor, give the minister a right to deserve, give the respect to deserve for say continue for monitor the process, for make the process be a credible one and everybody able for working company after the election day.
All right, quick while I just play this audio. I take it from SPW. I want for Credit Matiusha, where be recording a parliament with him, the chairman for the committee be the talk. Then I will come to you back. Stay with me. Yeah, I'll sign
confusion. It is not about political interference. Parliament not make any attempt for interfere with the rules if you forget. We don't make that attempt. But at the same time, Sierra Leone is a sovereign state. We in Sierra Leone, we will make sure so we protect this land. If Parliament now an arm of government, Parliament not for Sidom, keep quiet where this kind of thing they happen. If we get an oversight committee on sports, it is the responsibility of that committee for make sure say themselves help for make sanity they na the football family. So we get a role for play. We are saying this because we know say all man stake day. Me I am the chairman, me not a novice. I don't day in football for long time. I don't day in football for so long. So we know what's really they happen. But the assurance where the speaker say, the leadership say for Teluna, we must get Congress. And this time around, we want for assurance say nobody no they go on oppose. Nobody no go on oppose. We forget elections. I no go tell us saying that this person go na that person they go. No. But nobody no they go on oppose. We want weapon. We so happy the judicial body self where they form, where they look after these elections or make sure say thing be, that is the electoral body, the electoral appeals body, then the ethics board. Then self they go with that same understanding. Nobody know they go on oppose. We want for Leopold land they come out. Again, una for allow this parliament. By tomorrow, I believe say we go get something where we go make everybody satisfied. But if we say we cannot more like this tension where they build up, then parliament not go able to reach side for reach. So we dey appeal to everybody as we can go get the meeting up, let everybody come, let we go home, and una allow we. After we deliberation, we go get back to una, we go call una. So far so good. Yeah? Let we understand and the proper. We don't want a situation where people in the camp begin to say they want this and they want talk, they want this. No, not to dandy. We not go proper into waiting we they expect. But waiting we come now for talk to us as the chairman, for let we stay calm, let we stay cool. I believe say everything will go on well. We understand what they talk. Now that the speaker say make us talk to everybody. Let we understand. Parliament, if I tell una, we don't so go far. NSA will be sabit ready. That NSA, National Sport Authority, then they on top of things. Don't let them not sleep. We self they communicate directly with FIFA. I would have appreciate that. Because we self they stood with ground now. We want to know. Waiting they happen. Let we know. Deep. But if we rush them, we go miss. And people go talk more about parliament. So far, so good. Let we stay calm. And may God bless we all. You see, we know how begin encourage. Yeah. We know, yeah. Now that's the speaker say. Let we know encourage.
Point of observation.
Yeah.
Like you say earlier on, there's a message from the leadership.
Yeah.
That we just deliver a short message, and at the end of the day, we ask and request or appeal for calmness, and at the end, leadership will come back. Like leadership, they engage very.
All right, Muctar, you don't listen within the chairman we get for say. And they talk about the process itself and it make it clear and exactly what he say. Now we see come out from the resolution where they make that equal opportunity for everyone and everybody forget a level playing field and that nobody need to go unopposed.
Yeah, I get Council Alu, me you know, and a man we don't say inside this again for a very long time for me. And we join them. He be the Blighty Blackpool. He speak very well at the sports committee. The first day for the
Yeah, we did talk to Muctar when I joined us. We get IBK earlier, but I think IBK one for talent thank you we join. We make certain clarifications and very important one then and we move on. This now the checkpoint and Mina Magdalene. Continue for follow me page at Max Tribune and media platform on Facebook and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And another thing again that quick one. I'll come to Muctar back. I see we get issue with the network. Let me just take this issue with the I think we go take the issue with Musa Tombo. We get for do we think it on. I will come to Muctar back and we will continue. And we see a lot of issues be happen over the week. And Musa Tombo in issue now one way be make the news. You know, as a lot of people be surprised for let's see somebody don't go opportunity for go Europe twice. You know, let me this clear. I taught them this. Where don't go, it they get turned back. The first one not been get so not be get controversial or not be get much controversy. I think it was due to the trial and all. That be the first time we go Sweden. And he go again the second time where be raise up the alarm, where be return, he say because he not let cold. And this time and not been given any reason, but according to people we're close to him, now that he get some issues will be happening to him, been faint, he be get for feel uncomfortable and all. And but journalist Pa Ali of a sport journalist, a senior colleague, been get for explain some of the reasons that will be make Musa Tombo being get for return.
No, and the club is Stebek. Stebek is one of the most popular clubs in the Norwegian league. When the scout came, he arranged all business with Tombo together with his local agent, Ibrahim. East Stellars was approached for them to see how best they can release this player. He's going for a year loan in Norway. After performing better, maybe they want to say from there they'll give him a contract that will give you another 3 or 5 years, whatever. So when the club arranged everything, 1 year stay for him to be part of the club in Norway. He went 2 weeks ago. He was part of the club. He went for 1 or 2 days trial. Unfortunately, just 3 or 4 days when he arrived, we heard that Musa Tombo was fainted when he went to work. He fainted in his own hotel or his apartment, that he saw something like a shadow appear to him. So there was a Sierra Leone base in Norway by the name of Belgium Pool. Whenever you have Sierra Leone players in Norway, you look at them, visiting them, to see how best you can encourage them, that give your best, is your great opportunity. So he went visited Musa Tombo. When he went to him, Musa Tombo at that time, he was saying all sorts of, he wants to return back, he's not comfortable, he's not really happy with all of this. But later, after fainted for 4 hours, he gained consciousness again. He was really approached. What really happened to you? He himself cannot record that. All the statement he made was in the Musa Tombo statement. So they began to caution him, cancel him. On Monday, the day before yesterday, he's supposed to be part of the first official trial for the club, and club Stebek, based in Norway. And that club have never had an African player playing for that club. So Musa Tombo could have been the first African player to be part of that club. They were expecting Musa Tombo to be part of the training 2 hours before. All journalists were informed that the club is going to obey one Australian player, 1 year loan fee. All of a sudden, we heard the news that Musa Tombo took a knife, leaving his hotel, went to the city, main town, like we have DZ. He was having this knife with him, threatening to kill himself if he's not taken back to Sierra Leone. There they called the police. The police came in, asked, but for them to pointed the gun in front of Musa Tombo. A pistol was pointed that give us that knife, but it's really threatening to stab himself with the knife. So the police actually tried to took the knife from Musa Tombo and was taken to the home office, where the scout was called the name of Remy, that this is the situation that we cannot continue to keep this man here. Though you have a 1 year stay, but we need to take him back. So all program we arranged for him to see how best he can on board the immediate flight. But it was difficult for them to have a flight because Musa Tombo didn't go with any transit route. So they decided to have a direct flight. So this Air France was arranged and booked for €4,000 for them to see how best they can take Musa Tombo from Norway back to Sierra Leone. So that was the situation that went on where Musa Tombo was taken back to Sierra Leone.
Okay, Onadoyeri now. That's not how and why Musa returned to Salon. This time around, not to call afraid. He go Norway, he go train with his team, for get an opportunity. As he get from Pali, Musa Tombo for open the way for other Salon players or African players there, because no African player no ever play for this club it. And in for them set a record for be the first African player for play for that particular club then in Norway. He with a personal trainer, whatever, he just faint and for 4 hours. Then first party he come back to the ask some question what happened and not get direct explanation. And according to Pali, after that, Musa Tombo Monday was supposed for train with the team itself for train with them. Now the time he just run go now one main public center, he only say if they not return back Salon, he go kill himself. As according to Pali, the center like we get PZ na freedom. So Musa Tombo run to the center, all safe, they not actually allow him for return back, he go kill himself. So from there, local legend Natong with the scout, and the club we get for arrange with Air France for return and back because police them be go actually, according to Pali, they be go for make it calm down. even though they be get for point to pistol at and be just for let hand over the net, let not doing self bad thing. So a lot of things there around this, and people we can talk about witch and black man business, people can say village this person they say so sad now village people they fet am so Steve Murray and they say that. You see, a great opportunity for people. So we really need for the pray for ourselves. At times now so we can lose opportunity them. I know I for bring Muctar on this issue. We still get for talk about the FA and the MRI before we go. Muctar, you want to say anything about this? Because this is a great opportunity where Musa miss, for be the first African player for play for a club, and that's for the open way for Sierra Leone and them. All of a sudden you go there, you faint for 4 hours, you never forget give any correct explanation, you just say they feel uncomfortable, you want for you turn back. And when the people that they try for like negotiate with her for see how we go stay there, they wake up one morning or afternoon, just go through run to the center of the city and say go choke himself.
Yeah, sad story for Musa again. Me, he goes through the coal issue with landed and began for Enganon. And this one again, Benjamin Gordon with there, and also with two agents with the inside Norway when I mean within the deal with players them. Now they didn't get for pizza contact for make me go Norway. I go to the Secretary General itself, so many documents and we come to DHL to Norway. Musa in temporal stay permit also if you don't receive an hour before in the travel so 2 day cherry for don't do 1 year day because the loan deal with the club we don't do for them. That'll be 1 year deal where then we don't prepare for him Musa as a person for making sign SCC and join the club. But according to the local agency when a fencing, they say Musa began for go trial, in time trial, he run away do the club was very impressed, the message for Musa na one way, he be very excited for them. But don't hope saying way be do to Tombo and say the following week when I be Monday now say Musa for sign with Musa for put spend to paper for the club in a 1 year deal where for don't get with that club anymore. Fortunately over the weekend issue began for rise with Musa and so until they will not be able to talk on near because it will be very unprofessional for protect the player as a person. But normal which happen me as you don't state as Africa magic. Yes, in that line then they million problem begin for come out. Continue to pray for them. Like we coach John Kista begin for right say the boy need to support. This not the time for me to give everything we deserve in terms of love. We all are human. Everybody know in time everybody know the situation that we possible they go through all we deserve now and forgive Musa the love way out here. Not to for mock him. Not so for CC people and put them at the spotlight for present and that kind of way like say want for making better. Human being, nobody can tell what can happen to you as they go up in life. Very challenging time for and I hope say as a young boy go come out this too in terms of good performance at the field. And I wish you all the best with your family as they work and do forget in the proper mindset, Magdalene.
All right, thank you very much, Muctar. I don't get IBK back. IBK, before you go, welcome back again, IBK.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I think that the internet was struggling.
Yeah, before you go, we play the minister in audio where they talk about not again the necessary respect we need and the correspondent from FA not smooth with them. They talk about the they get informed from things the way they happen, especially from the election process and the election committee itself.
Okay, the same minister, now the same program, mentioned the fact, say, now there is what is referred to as the National Sports Authority, which charge the responsibility for oversee all the sporting disciplines. You make mention of so basically what is happening now, and the National Sports Authority now is sub sect under the Ministry of Sports. So it's now the responsibility of any sporting discipline, including Sierra Leone Football Association, for the updates NSA. You understand? So that is what we do. We're doing. So if any updates go to the Ministry of Sports, it's now the responsibility of NSA to update Ministry of Sports. Now the Parliament, in front of everybody, the Executive Director of the National Sports Authority make them clear. Say then as NSA don't they follow the process very closely. We've been keeping them updated, and as far as they are concerned, I don't know if you get that clip there. And as far as they are concerned, they are okay with the process. You understand? He made mention of that. So if he say he need to get updates, then I think say that NSA get for go responsible. And when I'm going to talk about the directive we come up from Parliament earlier on, I say when Parliament directs the Sports Ministry for write and ask the SLFA bodies for stop for work, Ministry of Sports did not write to us directly. You know why? Because there is now a body that is dealing with all of these sports and disciplines in the country directly. Ministry of Sports wrote to NSA, ask us. You see the chain of communication, eh? So that is how we're doing it. So if the minister they say, let him go back and check the records. Let him go back and check incessant own statement where he mentioned saying that NSA now they oversee all these bodies.
Okay.
And that is what we're doing. We're updating NSA. So when we update NSA, we expect NSA to update the Ministry of Sports. So if we say they get updates from we, then they get for all NSA responsible, not us. If however the Ministry of Sports writes to us directly asking for any company side, they provide them.
Okay.
So we're not get no reason not for updates the Ministry of Sports at all. Then before I go, somebody may try for before the line be crossed. I don't know if I will get the opportunity to clarify this.
Yeah,
somebody may try to Mohamed Kalon say. He said, but when Mohamed Kalon said heroes and nominate him. I don't know if you remember that. But
Somebody asked that question.
Yeah. So I think say it could be fair for that clarify that for the person. Let me repeat again. Mohamed was never nominated by no member association at all. And this Mohamed Kalon said attest to that in Parliament. During the Electoral Appeals Committee, even the heroes where they claim say they nominate them, then SSF don't confess than they, say they not be able to nominate them. Well, they blame it after they make their blabber, so we nominate Mohamed Kalon. This was what heroes said in their own words. And Mohamed Kalon SSF confessed the same thing at Parliament. So he was never nominated. So my problem is, if you are not nominated, how you go tell the public now say they disqualify you when you were not nominated in the first place? Heroes did not nominate Mohamed Kalon. Nobody nominated Mohamed Kalon. The only time he entered into the hall was for clarification. And then we explained to him. I'm glad Muctar is on the show now. Muctar formed part of the team where come with Mohamed Kalon. Sorry, where come with Rodney Michael for Kandu Rodney Michael in nomination. Right or wrong, Muctar? Muctar formed. He was one. Yes, he was one of those that came. Rodney Michael came with a team. They came with a full package. Everything wait for be presented and bring a come. The nominator, the seconder, all the way they ask for. In fact, Mr. Rodney Michael, if you talk today, when we be in that meeting, jokingly. He said he got more packages, he got more documents than where we get for go to back some. You understand? Jokingly. So basically, if you follow the process, you put all things together, A, B, and C documents that they ask you for put together. You come and you go through the process very peacefully. Look at Muctar, for example. They came, they went through the process successfully, and then they went back. The process was so easy and simple. He can testify to that. That the process was so easy and simple if you comply with all of the rules. So Mohamed Kalon was never nominated at all.
All right, IBK, thanks for the clarification. We go come and round up for the SLFA election talk. Now we take this MRI talk quick. We see, first of all, Salon bow out of the under-17 competition winning at the WAFU, na Senegal. We lost 1-0 to Guinea-Bissau on the first match, and the second match, we lost 5-0 to Mali. Well, Mali mostly can dominate in youth competition. I don't know why, but we be get for loss, and this now one of the worst results they don't get in junior football. So first off, after that, depending how we act, in order we see letter come out from FIFA. They inform us say they go likely ban the country for 2 years because they use players them will fail the test. First, just tell me how this testing process been going, because we see we now do this test 3 times. and forget players that way they use way fail be a surprise to Sierra Leoneans.
Yeah. First of all, you know, actually the letter not come up from FIFA, not from CAF.
CAF, yeah.
Yeah, I can understand. Mistake aside. All right, now from CAF the letter come out, and the letter now for inform we say with team don't be disqualified from the tournament. And this come at a time where, as a result of age eligibility and all, this at the time we already don't go out of the tournament as a result of losing 2 matches. We lost the first match by 1-0. The second one we lost them by 5-0 against Mali. Apparently, Mali, by the way, I think it was yesterday, they also beat 5-0. So
wow.
Mali, Alex in a 5-0, then they beat the goal. Yeah, it's a very strong side, I must say. But this is really, really sad looking at the effort, the resources we don't be put into them boys there from where we try to put them together. First of all, it was a nationwide trial that was conducted, you know, and then we able to get them boys there, bring them together, camp them, then train. We also send them to Liberia for going back on a friendly match. You know, then play 3 friendly matches inside Liberia. 2 of which now against the Liberian counterparts, we are the Liberian under-17 team. These boys then beat the Liberian under-17 team 2-10. You know, and then they beat another junior academy inside Liberia. This was before the tournament proper, and then they came back. Now we conducted the MRI test. Now we conducted the MRI test now Freetown, and the machine where they now Freetown. First of all, one game machine. One MRI machine in the country. When the EcoMed na they we conduct, and by the way, now this machine at EcoMed we don't conduct, we test them. Now they will be conduct, we test. The last time we went to Senegal, we had 100% pass. We don't do and 2 tell we go get 100% pass. Now we did it this time now EcoMed. But then, because the tournament's not being held in Salone, you know, there were a lot of issues in terms of whether the tournament was going to be held in Sierra Leone or not. You know, it took like 3 months after we don't do that test in Naya. So when it was time now to take the boys to Senegal, we not want to rely on that test so we don't do 3 months after. Because naturally, when you don't do a test, a player, 3 months later, naturally, growth don't take place. So we said, okay, let me not bank on that test. Let us do another one. But then we could have done this one still inside Salone. But Salone, the MRI test, the results, they're available only after 48 hours. The one at Guinea now, in the results, they're available instantly. And besides, the one at Guinea, which one where they use a CAF, now the same level. You understand? So we decided to take the boys to Guinea for go to the test day. 1, because the result is instant, and 2, because they are at the same level with the one who get for go to Senegal. And then we conducted a test there. We get a few players that will not be able for pass. We get 3 players in. Out of the over 20 players we get 3 players who will be failed the test now. Guinea. They were sent back to Sierra Leone. The one that we clearly passed the test, and as I speak, the medical facility test, they don't send the results to the Sierra Leone Football Association. Clearly, all of the boys that we sent to Senegal, they passed the MRI test. So now, the thing is, and the difficulty and the doubt, the surprise we will get as a football federation, how the same machine where they get in Senegal, we don't conduct the same machine, we don't conduct a test of the boys on the same machine where the boys pass. How they will go failure under. But now, when CAF communicated to us, first of all, CAF take the decision. When the test was conducted in Senegal, it was sent to and then CAF go look at them, CAF send the result. Now, the result's not clear. The results not tell you, say, now 1 or 2, 3 pass or they fail. The result did not say that. The correspondent will send to we, you know, give that detail. Though you not give you say na Alpha or na Ibrahim or na Muctar na fail. It did not say that. So this was why we challenged the results. We said, no, let them provide me with more clarity on this. Let them tell me how many people, and first of all, how many boys and would I fail the test? Because we are going to challenge this. We are not going to stop at nothing. We are going to get to the root of this. Because if this person is past the age, let us know the person. So we go do a cross-check. You understand? Sure, say, this person has failed this thing. But you cannot just write to us and say, okay, they are SLFA, una boys them, una don't be disqualified because some of una boys are not passed. Some of una boys are Uda and Uda. And how many boys? As we speak, we still have not got those details, but we have challenged it. We have requested for details of that result. So we're able to do a cross-check, you understand, for able to ascertain really whether or not the decision of CAF really is the position. It is so sad, and we are so disappointed, and we regret really for announce this to the public, say this is what has happened. And not so we no more day in this. It's not actually my business to say, but Gambia also is another country where they say fall victim. They say the same thing. They say they disqualify them according to CAF, say because of the same issues, age related and all of that. So this is exactly what happened, Magdalene.
Okay. So we don't get that clear now, and I don't challenge and I wait for get word from them. Waiting next for them boys here. Waiting next for them since we don't, come out now the competition and they're very young, waiting to be the next step where the FA will take.
Well, they are coming back tomorrow. We'd expect them for dinner the country tomorrow. We are going to receive them warmly, as a matter of fact, because this is football. Like I tell you more earlier on, we don't do a lot in terms of putting together. Even when this tournament in business be they go up and down, we'll still camp in McKinney. We started with the train on the standard artificial turf. They train at morning, train at evening, train morning, train evening, to the swimming pool. We take them to the gym for prepare them no more. Did we engage them in an international friendly match? Yes. We took them to Liberia. They played against their Liberian counterparts. Salon beats Liberia 2-10. So we did all we could as a football federation, just for try for prepare them no more. Because if we just don't get at the we don't engage in an international friendly match. Sometimes we don't say, hey, but why not do this or why not do that? You understand? But on a more serious note, and to be fair with the boys, I think it goes back to the fact around always when they get issues in the country in terms of football. We have to try as best as possible for put all of our differences now we're back in the interest of these boys, in the interest of the country. Just imagine if a structured junior league for Bidonde, who for really don't get a better preparation ahead of it. Because what we did basically was to just conduct trials nationwide. You understand? So if we get a well-structured junior league in the country, I think it will really, really help we in terms of performance in the future, going into future tournaments and competitions.
All right. Quick one, Muctar. Will they talk about the under-17 team? Will they can round up soon and we'll round up on the SLFA election? But the under-17 team don't be knocked out in Senegal and then they return, and that's not only limits we see CAF, one can knock we don't back, say we boys them some, then they will fail the test. What do you think about the youth system, the result in Senegal, the preparation of the boys and all? Because to be honest, this now one of the longest preparation ever for a team when we know about. And they were well prepared, they were camped, but we not get the results we expect, Muctar.
But sad one, Maggie, we all this now national teams them. Whenever they get the kind of competition, they all want to see them perform better and also bring Lawrence to the country. But this is very unfortunate of what happened. The FA did their own part in terms of taking the team for Kedengona, Guinea, do MRI scan. Some players them not be able to make them with them again for return. Take the boys them back, go then at Senegal. They begin for do scan for them, but WAFU begin for allow them for say they play the competition until the results begin for announce them. If we be lucky for winner or two match, them will qualify. to the next stage. If we don't suffer a huge blow, like we Gambia suffer a huge blow, we then qualify, but then they will make them to the next stage because now Mauritania don't replace them because they might get the same problem. I get this news at around 7:30 to 8 from a friend when I Gambia, maybe get for information. They say my friend, he say my country, Gambia and Sierra Leone, we are going to be disqualified for the competition and also face ban because of using overage prayer. I say, are you sure? He said, yes. He said, I've just got the result from a senior official from the Gambia. So I break the news now. Also, the SPW and also the FA later began for confirm. So Ibrahim also reach out, say they don't confirm the news. They're a very sad one. The FA played their own part, but the guy then when they organize the competition, when our WAFU then gets their own way, and then go about for CCDM players that are not qualified. Despite results don't show that Guinea say them players are qualified through the MRI test to then do with them. This night challenge one, I think we youth system. Now one thing that anyway, anybody will get for take over the FA, get for spend a huge time in terms of organizing youth competition all across the country, in terms of making for sure see them boys start getting regular competitions so when they play locally, for see and develop them for facing their colleague youth other continents across West Africa. We need a strong foundation. But, did a good job. Then go inside Liberia. The results to them, they pull inside the friendly. Be somehow encouraging. We will think say they will go inside this competition. We think so host the competition. Sorry, they will do well inside Gambia. To miss out of the competition. Go Senegal. The boys them not don't be a good one for that. I think now after this election, one area waiting for lay power, female competition, youth football competition with Premier League, because these are the foundations then for make we get a very decent national team in terms of making sure say regularly them boys start to play, then they're up to speed in terms of health, and they're up to speed in terms of performance can help for make we do well. But for local league, no structure, the youth side, no structure, the Premier League, no structure, the female league, no structure. We can't do anything better, mega and Maggie for facing them bigger nations, them where they now we neighbors. So let's work on ourselves in terms of own preparation, give them where they are the best in terms of organizing for them regular competition and make sure say we get clubs them way the FA go the support for make them keep their team star up and running for youth football and female football be a good one.
Forget a youth system now for depend on the FA. The clubs themselves forget a system where then they get youth football, so then go organize league for them.
No, that is a fact, Maggie. That I think in that area they one area we work on and fully the FA provide subsidy to their clubs. They encourage each club forget under 14, under 16 and female and team. Now one area that no go official like Lions ask them say get under 14, under 16 and female team. The FA they go na this social package. You go able help them for sustain them for run their club star because you know go say let the local club then get away the finance in terms of sponsorship they come fans and they contribute a lot to their club star. So it will be challenging for them. So the FA for say them get that thing where they provide subsidy to them in their youth areas there and female areas there for see them sustain their girls there and then boys star for make we get a strong national team.
I think you want to say something.
I just want for agree with Muctar. I mean, just like Abide said earlier on, we youth system of the country. We really, really need for work on them. And the FA gets a huge part for play. That in a definite thing down there. But also, Mali then team, when you look at them, 90% of the Malian boys now foreign-based players. Did you know that? Then go take them from the academies. Yes, from the academies where they Spain, England. We said we get we said we get Sierra Leoneans where they outside, where they play in different academies, for example. But we all know the difficulty.
We get them even in Australia in the academy. And one thing we do for the one within Australia, because the Australia football FSF, they try to build a very good system for their football. So we get a couple of the Unions the way now youth player them, then they I know couple of them, I don't follow them competition.
When they want to try to make, sometimes we also it doesn't have to be 100% foreign-based players. But sometimes you look at the one that way really they do excellently well. You understand where they fall within that age brackets, you can count that you merge them up with the local based players. But again, we all know the difficulty when it comes to that. The one they win at foreign base, when a senior player they first, but I will try get one player down here for country and it's difficult. Then school league system as well. You understand? If we also get the school league system, then they also go able for help with a lot. And Muctar rightly mentioned the fact, say, for example, each and every one of them forgets a junior team. You understand? Yes, they will find it difficult, or they will get constraints in terms of taking care of that. But we all know, say, really, when you own a club, it is your responsibility as the owner of the club to take care of it. And this is not to say, as a football federation, we're not for provide them with the necessary support. Of course, Musa we're able, we have to do it, and we are supposed to do it. You understand? Yeah. But you know, all these Premier League clubs, when they own a junior team, it's a requirement. In other words, it's a must. There are requirements under the club license. And now, one by the club license requirements, they don't want to do. Every Premier League club, you forget the junior club. You understand? That are requirements, and by force, they call it. It's a must, definitely. So it is also on us, and we're going to try as best as possible to enforce that. You understand? To ensure that all Premier League clubs, you know, own junior teams as required by the club license. And then we serve as a football federation, you know, we will try. We'll level best to ensure we'll provide them with the necessary support, because these are concerted efforts. All man doing bits. At the end of the day, the ultimate aim is the same. For ensure, say, the senior teams, them, you know, be top the task for able to participate, you understand, win games, qualify for major competitions, and all of that.
Yeah, we go find a date where we come and talk about this. You know, this program therefore educate people. It's an open program. I just invite everyone. I will display my number. If you want to be part of you can call me or contact me through WhatsApp. We round up now. Muctar first. What's go be your expectation for this election? Because we got less than 2 weeks for going to the election itself in Makeni.
Well, for me,
okay.
The last 7 years, me, you know, anybody we don't follow football in an honest manner, they understand to be football long get very, very huge challenges in terms of the one we in charge now for administer and for run the game. They are in one time. In terms of look, see all members them include inside the game with oneness and love. Reason being that because of the challenges we madam the face because in way how we take for entry. Then also concerned on be racing shoulder olive branch for bring all these members then together for let us see they speak in one voice. So we too want to see inside the election come inside the election come now Makeni. Now for say it gets a level playing field. Every individual contest, everyone contests with idea, policy, even delegates out there.
Hold on, Muctar. Even if the person get issues with integrity, if we just go and contest, are we not going through?
Well, I'm not.
Listen, by the books.
I'm not saying if the person get issue. If the committee, the ethics committee, the electoral committee, if they get valid reason, valid reason, my point, if they get valid reason, Maggie, against them people there, make them take action against them. But make sure so they take action. For example, if you want to pull Maggie out of the race now, explain and say, under this article, so, now this will find out, say, you not qualify for making contest this election. But make sure say the presents and they don't do justice to the person. You don't do investigation, don't find out say this person, this will find out against them. They not qualify for making contest this election. The ethics committee get that responsibility there. And the side of what it was the transparency, every party they're happy and make sure say the winner work with a one football family. The reason why the football divide so just after this election, everyone they come together for say they push the game forward. But presently, they go if we continue. So we are fair play, not the reason there for make the members and continue for question the process. You know, will be a very fine one for the way we win. Where to one for Sina for everybody going at that pool. You are not qualified. The pool the one they qualified go the where you lost, we go off the next person and say congratulations. I will try me luck better next time. But waiting more for good target for approaching time Kenya for look at a very transparency process. If the electoral committee or the ethics committee, they knock anybody, let them knock and don't give valid reason and say That this reason make Muctar not qualify. Now this will find out against them. A flout the electoral code of ethics, a flout the FIFA code of ethics. You give valid reason, that they will show the person say they are guilty of this. Let that fair and level playing field. For me, could get a one football with happiness. We get a very good football where everybody go laugh and happy and not say this person will win me, beat me inside the pool and deserve the election we win Magdalene.
All right, thank you very much, Muctar. Quick one, IBK. Waiting will be your round of statements and how best you think say our people them for trust the process.
Yeah, okay. I just want for assure Muctar and the viewers and every Sierra Leonean in and out of the country for believe say the process is going to continue to be free and fair. We'll do everything in line with within the inside the statutes, the codes, and the regulations we put together. And just like Musa said, the electoral committee or any of the bodies, they take no decision we're not with the statute. If any decision is taken, they tell you say according to this specific article, according to this code, A, B, and C. Now the situation, nobody is going to be disqualified unconstitutionally. You understand? I make all the candidates them, everybody equal. We don't get special rules. I've always been saying this. We do not have special rules for special people. Whether you don't take 50 years per football, or whether you don't play like this or that, I mean, we respect people for their roles that they don't play in the game. Maggie, you said something you don't, so you don't play a role in the game. So play a role in football. You don't have to kick the ball. You don't talk sports. You don't go work on a sun, work on a rain. You understand? On the rain for go fan news for can't talk about for promotes the game. You've done that. Muctar don't do your own parts. You understand? Yes. You don't go.
So
you
me
don't
and Muctar I go for stand against after.
So that's what I'm saying. So everybody gets your own role. We don't play in differently. You know, so the point why they try to make that, but when it comes to, you know, the rules, now the same rule where they apply to player A, now they apply to player B. The same rule where they apply to nominee A, now they apply to nominee B. You understand? If they use this rule for disqualify this person, if that same rule apply to another person, that person must be disqualified. You know, so when they get no room for that, would I not get no issue? They go through the process. Clearly, you contest. The delegates and then get the responsibility for determining would have for take the mantle of leadership, you understand, at the respective positions for the next 4 years. And I know say a lot of people they passively say, hey, I don't take sides, hey, I don't take sides. It's difficult because the incumbents, the president where they are now, she's the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association. For example, if I post a picture of Madam Aisha Iwansi, where they're in Qatar, for example, in the World Club Champions League finals, I do so for her in the capacity of the president of the FA. Now, I've never gone to any program or say, hey, vote Madam Aisha Iwansi, or vote Kofi Dinyako, or vote. No, I will never do that. It's not for me to say. You don't understand? I work for the Football Federation. She's the substantive president of the FA. I speak for her in the capacity of the president for the FA. Muctar can testify. I never argue on social media. Say, hey, these are candidates audit. No. When it comes to elections, it is not my business. It is not my area. You understand? So basically, yes, we serve the Football Federation and every member under the Football Federation. So the process, I want to assure everybody, see, just like when the electoral committee chairman said, don't mention them. It ensures a level playing ground is established for everybody, and the rules are the same for every nominee. Absolutely, it will continue to be free and fair for all. Thank you very much, Maggie.
Yeah, thank you, and I like your background. Now you take the real background.
No, Muctar they bluff me with the background in Tolong the Shine Panana.
All right, guys, I appreciate you, and I will always get to this show. This is not a show, and you know, we need a show. We know say the footballer they don't get their own, but we need a show for get a different perspective about sport. So this now,
we the sport journalists there.
yeah, we the sport journalists. we respect Calon and Paul Parker and all. We they follow them show, but we
Good chairman for say thanks for the overhander. You keep the public can be informed of what that happen. Naomi, it's a very good initiative, and I not see this is a very big platform. I see the likes of African teacher, other people also.
Yeah, Alusan, yeah, Kaba, the whole video.
You get a very good audience, and I for kudos to you. Keep the dream alive, and I know say this platform get for do a more to come. So say one say go to me IBK with the contest for the SLFA positions and the different we as president to the other side.
Who side they left me now? Who side they left me? Okay, when me go for NOC, I will go for NOC presidency. Okay, thank you guys. Talk to you some other time, and I appreciate you so much. All right, bye. Okay, quick one before I go take the NOC. Sorry, the basketball issue where I will talk about. We go take them quickly. Basketball. Salon basketball national team where they don't select go get for play friendly match with Guinea, and now a good one because for a long time basketball they play, then get healthy competition, then get very good competition that they play. Good players, but they're not can go out internationally much, only few times, and that make plenty people don't know basketball players and more where they within sport and more people where they follow basketball know about them. So this is a very good initiative. I want to say kudos to the one way they organize this, and I hope say Sierra Leone will get the much needed victory for get a good starting point. And we want to see Guinea self cancel alone for a return leg. That's all, and thank you for having me. This is not the checkpoint, the show where they check the reality. This program is 85% sport. Whenever they talk other issues like one politics, big news where they come, and other thing them like entertainment, but it's big time sport all the way. Thank you, African teacher, and all the guys that will follow me, Steve Murray and all. I thank you very much here and all. Quick one, let's just do this advert for me, guys. Them these guys are very good in promotion. Join them, contact them. This now the B2B born to blog. They brand you business. They're able for give you best production in magazine. They promote your show, music, movie, and lots more. So follow them. And I also get one other advert when we brought inside sport where happen for be Alan. Alan, now a teacher, and they do very well. Instead of getting in lessons, now a teacher, they do one-on-one lesson with school picking them. A very good at it, so you can contact them. You see the numbers where you go get them. Where you go able for prepare you picking for examinations, national examinations, and not only that, you go also prepare them for university. So that's all for today's in the checkpoint. Thank you for having me, and thanks to all the guys that will follow me inside today's show. I will join you next. I will join you in the weekend or maybe tomorrow or so if any other issue come up, because salon every day thing they happen there. But in the meantime, I want to say plenty thank you, and me and Magdalene is gonna do follow me page on Facebook at Max Tribune Media Platform, and also my YouTube channel. Subscribe to where now the Max Tribune Media Platform also on YouTube, and follow me on Instagram at official Magdalene Max Tribune on Instagram, official Magdalene Max Tribune, and also on Twitter at Magdalene Escone. Thank you. Till then, have a blessed weekend. It's already Saturday in Australia and Friday evening in Sierra Leone. Bye-bye.